The University of New Brunswick is a public university with campuses located in Fredericton and Saint John, New Brunswick. It is the oldest English-language university in Canada. It is one of 4 schools that claim the title of oldest public university in the English-speaking portion of North America. National Autonomous University of Mexico and Benemérita Universidad Autónoma de Puebla, all of them in Mexico, predate them by 2 centuries. UNB was founded by a group of 7 loyalists who left the United States after the American Revolution. UNB has 2 main campuses. The original campus, founded in 1785 in Fredericton, and a smaller campus which opened in Saint John in 1964. In addition, there are 2 small satellite health sciences campuses located in Moncton and Bathurst, New Brunswick, and 2 offices in the Caribbean and in Beijing. UNB offers over 75 degrees in 14 faculties at the undergraduate and graduate levels, with a total student enrollment of approximately 11,400. Between the 2 principal campuses, in the fall of 2010, UNB partnered with Dalhousie University and the Government of New Brunswick to open the first English-language medical school in the province at the Saint John campus. History. Founding and charters in 1783, Loyalist settlers began to build upon the ruins of a former Acadian village called Saint-Anne-des-Pays-Bas. The new settlement was named Frederickstown in honor of Prince Frederick, son of King George III and uncle of Queen Victoria. Initially modeled on the Anglican ideals of older European institutions, the University of New Brunswick was founded in 1785 as the Academy of Liberal Arts and Sciences. The petition requesting the establishment of the school, titled "The Founders' Petition of 1785, was addressed to Governor Thomas Carleton and was signed by 7 Loyalist men: William Payne, William Wanton, George Sproul, Zephaniah Kingsley, Sr., John Coffin, Ward Chipman, and Adino Paddock. To His Excellency Thomas Carleton, Esquire, Governor, Captain General, and Commander-in-Chief of the Province of New Brunswick, and the territories thereunto to belonging, Vice Admiral, Chancellor, and CNC. Your memorialists whose names are hereunto subscribed, beg leave to represent and state to your consideration the necessity and expediency of an early attention to the establishment in this infant province of an academy, or school of liberal arts and sciences. Your Excellency need not be reminded of the many peculiarities attending the settlement of this country. The settlement of other provinces has generally originated in the voluntary exertions of a few enterprising individuals, unencumbered, and prosecuting their labor at their leisure, and as they found it convenient, and most for their advantage. Far different is the situation in which the loyal adventurers here find themselves. Many of them, upon removing, had sons whose time of life and former hopes call for an immediate attention to their education. Many public advantages and many conveniences would result to individuals could this be effected within this province, the particulars of which it is unnecessary to enumerate. Your memorialists do therefore most earnestly request Your Excellency will be pleased to grant a charter for the establishing and founding such an academy. By an 1800 provincial charter, signed by Jonathan Odell, the Academy of Liberal Arts and Sciences became the College of New Brunswick. The college was succeeded by King's College, which was granted by Royal Charter in December 1827. King's College operated under the control of the Church of England until 1859, when it was made non-sectarian by an act of the provincial legislature that transformed the college into the University of New Brunswick. In 1866, Mary Kingsley Tibbets became the first regularly admitted female student of UNB. 20th-21st centuries. In 1906, UNB established a bicameral system of university government consisting of a Senate responsible for academic policy, and a Board of Governors exercising exclusive control over financial policy and other matters. The president, appointed by the board, was to provide a link between the two bodies and to provide institutional leadership. By 1967, the University of New Brunswick had two faculties: Arts and Applied Science. It awarded the degrees of Bachelor of Arts, Bachelor of Science, Master of Arts, and Doctor of Science. The latter was awarded only in the fields of civil engineering, electrical engineering, and forestry. At this time, the university had 156 male students, 21 female students, and only 11 academic staff, who were all male. In the 1960s, university policies changed in response to social pressure and the belief that higher education was a key to social justice and economic productivity for individuals and for society. In 1964, a second, smaller campus was established in Saint John, New Brunswick. The growth of the UNBSJ campus is particularly notable, for the campus began with only 96 students spread throughout various buildings in Saint John's central business district. In 1968, UNBSJ moved to its new home at Tucker Park. The Association of University of New Brunswick Teachers was established in 1954. In 1979, this association became the bargaining agent for all full-time academic staff, and in 2008, it achieved certification for contract academic staff. Relocation of the Faculty of Law in 1959. The Faculty of Law moved from Saint John to Fredericton following a report on the status of legal education in Canada by Professor Maxwell Cohen from McGill University. In his report, Cohen stated that the Saint John Law School was only nominally a faculty of UNB. This prompted Lord Beaverbrook, as Chancellor, and UNB President Colin B. Mackay, to permanently move the Saint John Law School to the UNB Fredericton campus, despite the Dean's objections. Polytechnic controversy. In the fall of 2007, a report commissioned by the provincial government recommended that UNBSJ and the New Brunswick Community College be reformed and consolidated into a new polytechnic post-secondary institute. The proposal immediately came under heavy criticism and led to the several organized protests. Under heavy fire from the public, the Graham government eventually announced that it would set aside the possibility of UNB Saint John losing its status as a university and would refer the report to a working group for further study. The government would go on to announce in January that UNBSJ would retain its liberal arts program and its association with UNB, and the working group reported back to government in May, with its findings and government's response being made public in June. Campuses. Currently UNBF has approximately 9,000 students while UNBSJ has 3,000, although UNBSJ is growing at a faster rate. Both campuses have undergone significant expansion over the years, and many university buildings have received funding from Lord Beaverbrook and other prominent industrialists and philanthropists. UNB's largest expansion coincided with the baby boom, when its Fredericton campus tripled in size. Fredericton. The UNB Fredericton campus is located on a hill overlooking the Saint John River. The campus is well known for its colorful fall foliage, Georgian-style red brick buildings, and a very steep hill. UNB Fredericton has shared the College Hill with St. Thomas University since 1964, when the former St. Thomas College moved from Chatham, NB. While the universities share some infrastructure, they remain separate institutions. Architecture. Architect G. Ernest Fairweather designed several of the campus buildings, including the old civil engineering building and the gymnasium. In addition, several of the stained glass windows in the Convocation Hall were created by Robert McCausland Limited. UNBF's War Memorial Hall, originally built as a science building in 1924, honors the 35 UNB alumni who died in World War I. UNBF's Brigadier Milton F. Gregg, V.C., Center for the Study of War and Society was created in 2006. The Richard J. Curry Center, a 5-story 139,000 square foot building, was constructed in 2013. National Historic Sites. 2 buildings on the Fredericton campus have been designated National Historic Sites of Canada. The 1827 Sir Howard Douglas Hall, and the 1851 William Bryden Jack Observatory. Saint John. The UNB Saint John campus is located in Tucker Park in the Milledgeville neighborhood, several kilometers north of the city's central business district, and offers spectacular views of the Kennebecasis River and Grand Bay. New Brunswick's largest healthcare facility, Saint John Regional Hospital, is located adjacent to the UNBSJ campus. In 2010, a new medical school, a joint project between Dalhousie University, UNBSJ, and the regional hospital, took in its first class. The Saint John campus has undergone expansion over the years and is the fastest-growing component of the UNB system, with many new buildings constructed between the 1970s and the first decade of the 21st century. A trend in recent years has been a growth in the number of international students. Notable differences from its parent campus in Fredericton lay in the campus culture. While UNB Fredericton has a substantial amount of students living in its on-campus residences, this is not the case for UNBSJ. The majority of students do not live within walking distance of the campus due to its remote location, so unlike Fredericton, Saint John is predominantly a commuter campus. Architecture. On April 1, 2010, construction began on the Hans W. Klon Commons, one of the most environmentally friendly buildings in Atlantic Canada. The building features an electric elevator that produces power for the Commons. The building is part of the Tucker Park Enhancement Project, which will include the refurbishment of the Canada Games Stadium, the new Dalhousie Medicine New Brunswick facility, and the New Brunswick Community College's Allied Health Building. Sustainability. The University of New Brunswick has attempted to reduce its environmental impact through installing a natural gas-burning microturbine at the central heating plant that produces 100 kilowatts of electricity for the university. Heat energy, a result of this process, is used to contribute to the overall heating of the campus to increase its overall energy efficiency. In addition, all produce and dairy products used within its dining services are obtained from local farmers and local producers. The campus offers grass-fed beef, fair trade coffee, and dining locations offer biodegradable to-go containers. UNB recycles electronics in addition to traditional materials and operates a move-out materials collection program. The university adheres to a green purchasing policy and has reduced greenhouse gas emissions 26% since 1990. They have also decreased water consumption since 2005 through the adoption of new technologies. With these efforts to create a more sustainable campus, the University of New Brunswick received an overall B+ grade in the 2011 College Sustainability Report Card put out by the Sustainable Endowments Institute, Research and Academics. UNB is the seat of 16 Canada Research Chairs and is home to more than 60 research centres and institutes. It conducts about 75% of all university research in the province. Between 2004 and 2009, the university's research revenue increased by 77%, the highest increase among Canadian comprehensive universities. Reputation. In 2013, Maclean's magazine ranked UNB 4th nationally in its evaluation of the top 15 comprehensive universities in Canada. For several years running, UNB's libraries have been ranked in the top spot nationally in terms of the percentage of the overall budget devoted to libraries and in terms of holdings per student. In 2008, the National Post and the Ottawa Citizen recognized UNB as being among the top 3 comprehensive research universities in Canada for the highest percentage growth of research income across a 5-year period. In 2012, UNB's law school was ranked 2nd nationally in elite firm hiring by Maclean's. According to Canadian Lawyer magazine, the law school ranks among the top 5 in Canada. Poets Corner because so many of UNB's students, alumni, and professors have produced celebrated poetry. The city of Fredericton has earned the nickname Poets Corner. 2 of Canada's 4 Confederation poets, Sir Charles G.D. Roberts and Bliss Carman, were educated at UNB, as was Francis Joseph Sherman, along with a number of notable 20th and 21st century Canadian writers. In 1947, the Historic Sites and Monuments Board of Canada unveiled a Poets' Corner monument in honor of Carman, Roberts, and Sherman. Institute of Biomedical Engineering. The Institute of Biomedical Engineering on the Fredericton Campus is one of the leading research institutes in biomedical engineering in Canada. It was founded in 1965 as the Bioengineering Institute, making it one of the oldest research institutes to be solely dedicated to the field of biomedical engineering. The institute is also the region's prosthetic fitting center, where amputees are fitted with state-of-the-art intelligent artificial limbs. The institute also carries out research in the field of myoelectric signal processing, biomedical instrumentation and human motion analysis. The IBME also developed a UNB test of prosthetic function which is used by researchers all over the world. Although the institute does not offer degrees in biomedical engineering, students at UNB usually enroll in one of the other faculties of engineering such as electrical or mechanical and pursue their research in biomedical engineering at the IBME. Canadian Rivers Institute. The Canadian Rivers Institute was founded in 2000 and is a leading site of river sciences research. The mandate of the CRE is to conduct both multidisciplinary basic and applied research focusing on rivers from their headwaters to their estuaries, to promote the conservation, protection and sustainable use of water, and to educate professionals, graduate students and the public on water sciences. Members of the CRE conduct research on regional, national and international issues related to rivers and their land-water linkages. MIKMAQ Maliseet Institute. UNB created its BED program for First Nations students in 1977 in an effort to help First Nations communities take control of their own schools. In 1981, the MIKMAQ Maliseet Institute opened its doors with an expanded mandate to train professionals and improve First Nations access to First Nations education. The institute provides a variety of services, including research, curriculum development, language education, policy development, children's literacy, and more. In addition, the institute funds the MIKMAQ Maliseet Resource Collection, which contains materials that are immensely valuable to knowledge of First Nations culture, history, and perspective in the region. Scholarships. UNB awards over $5 million in scholarships each year. The most prestigious of these are the Blake Kirkpatrick, Beaverbrook, and President's Scholarships. UNB has a scholarship guarantee in which any admitted student with an average of 80% or higher will receive a guaranteed amount of $500. As a member of the Law and Scholars University Consortium, UNB offers a matching tuition waiver as part of the $100,000 undergraduate scholarship to recognize incoming students who demonstrate exemplary character, service and leadership. 5 law and scholars have studied at UNB over the years. Additionally, it is part of the Schulich Leader Scholarships program, awarding an $80,000 STEM scholarship to an incoming engineering student and a $60,000 scholarship to a science, technology, or mathematics student each year. Athletics. UNB Fredericton is represented in Canadian inter-university sport by the UNB Varsity Reds, while UNBSJ is represented by the UNBSJ Sea Wolves. The Varsity Reds compete in the following sports: men's and women's basketball, men's hockey, men's and women's soccer, men's and women's volleyball, and swimming. Men's and women's track and field and cross-country have been added as a varsity sport for 2010-2011. This is a joint Fredericton, Saint John campus program. In the past, UNBF used different names for each individual sports team. For instance, the men's swim team was the Beavers, and the hockey team was the Red Devils. The university club teams, which are supported financially by the student union as well as by individual members of the teams, do not use the Varsity Reds name and thus continue the tradition of using different nicknames for each sport. Songs traditional among the number of songs commonly played and sung at various times such as commencement, convocation, and athletic events are Carmina, Universi Status Novi Brunswick, Alma Mater, and UNB Anthem, with words by A.G. Bailey and music by D.V. Start. Colloquial songs included Bombers Away, to celebrate the football team. Bombers Away, My Boys Bombers Away, cause when you fight Red Bombers. Fight you Bombers, fight you Bombers, fight, fight, fight. Notable facts and milestones. UNB was the only institution to grant both President John F. Kennedy and his brother Robert F. Kennedy honorary doctorates in their lifetimes. UNB owns 7,700 acres of real property in several sites, including an extensive woodlot adjacent to the Maritime Forestry Complex, formerly used for forestry education and research. Until 1968. The university had the power to expropriate land it may deem necessary for the purpose of the university, without approval from the government. The Faculty of Computer Science in Fredericton was the first computer science faculty in Canada, and it went on to develop the first software engineering degree program in Atlantic Canada. The university has since been ranked by Canadian Business Magazine as first in e-business. UNB offered Canada's first university-level engineering program, established in 1855. The first engineers graduated in 1857. The university has the longest-running undergraduate forestry program in Canada, and its forest engineering program is the only accredited program of its kind in Canada. UNB's Planetary Space Science Centre is the only NASA-supported planetary imaging facility in Canada. UNB's Centre for Coastal Studies and Aquaculture does work in Canada, the Caribbean, the United Kingdom, the Mediterranean, South America, Australia and Antarctica. UNB's Gregg Centre for the Study of War and Society is one of the few research institutes in Canada and the US, studying the role of climate change in current and future conflicts.